It's just freaking spaz.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like the craziest bug I've ever had. Like unbelievably so. I had to clip her leash to my belt
Oh.
because she kept trying to go for the door when people would open.
Uh,
And none of my other bugs did that. Like she's just
I was gonna bring my dog.
all right. Good morning, everybody. It has been a while since we've talked Kickstarter, and here we are in person in the shop. This is so much fun. This is so much better than talking through a screen. But we are here to talk to Kyrun Silva about his new Kickstarter project, which, as we were starting the video, funded. It got another pledge and it went over the mark. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you. I think it's because I was here. Something just pushed it over. So.
I think so. It's probably the guy sitting in the car waiting for me to open.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, he recognized you and knew what we were doing.
So I should just stay here for the rest of my life and get as much funding
as possible. Well, for those of you who are going to want to know more about this project, because that's why you're watching this video and that's why we're here, why don't you tell us what you have in store this time? Because you are a Kickstarter expert at this point.
I guess so. This is officially now my 6th Kickstarter that I have funded. 6 out of 7.
So those aren't bad odds.
Yeah. But what we are funding is issue 4 of Xob the Lightning Wielder. We have issue 1, issue 2, if I can hold it correctly, and issue 3 already funded all through Kickstarter. And then this is going to be to fund issue 4. We have a new art team coming out for issue 4. Same great story about Tracy and her adventures of getting this lightning god that's now connected to her body. It's fused with her. And issue 1 through 3 is the first arc and deals with her first major villain called Lord Eclipse. Issue 4, 5, and 6 are going to be a next arc where Tracy has to deal with the aftermath of that huge battle she went through and how the city is now slowly turning on her because she saves the city, but there's a lot of destruction in her wake that comes from all that she does.
So issue 4 is a great jump on point.
Yes, it is.
So you don't want to miss 1 through 3.
No.
Even jump on points are great for new readers, but he has them available. So you should pick them up so you find out a little bit more about them. So give us a little backstory on this. What was the genesis of this book and what brought it to the point that it's at?
The genesis of the book is it's the folklore of Xob is related to my wife's culture. She's Hmong, which they are Southeastern Asian people that come from the area of Laos. And they have a lot of mythology that I thought was very cool and interesting. One of her uncles is a teacher here in Sacramento, and he teaches about their culture and history on Facebook. And he showed this image of a copper axe that the deities Xob uses for their powers. And I was like, that'd be a cool, interesting story. So I like Thor in a way.
Okay.
But it's a little bit different. And I was like, why don't I just create this character? And I started creating initially as a male character, but then I realized a lot of their culture is not as progressive as we are currently in their thinking. Women are still very seen as just child bearers, as just workers and make food, things like that. And I thought, why not change it up a little bit, have it be a female character? So now we get the aspect of that she is this very powerful person in a community that sees her as very small. So there's a lot of dynamic in that I'm trying to play with in this story.
And that's a really fun take on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's also a culture that isn't necessarily represented in comic books. You've got, obviously we've got 80 years of, white American culture that has been changing,
yes.
over the years. People have been introducing a lot of things, but I don't know that I've seen personally a story hit the shelves about this culture.
No, actually, outside of one movie called Gran Turismo with Clint Eastwood, that actually dealt with a white male character dealing with Hmong people moving in next to him. I haven't seen anything else representative of any type of Hmong culture anywhere. But there are a lot of Hmong actors. In the recent Mulan live action, there are actually a couple actors that are Hmong that they just said they were Chinese. So there's people out there that are trying to represent themselves, but they don't have a way to actually do that. So I'm hoping to use this as a platform for them in a way,
yeah,
and tell a good story at the same time.
And it's great too because you have the inside track. So you have dealt with your wife and her
Yes.
family. I hope you've dealt with your wife.
20 years next month.
So yeah, you actually, and things that you don't know,
Yes.
you can go directly to the source and get the information to make this book as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. And again, it's funded. So people are obviously on board with this thing. Now, what can they get with the funding? Because you've obviously created an attractive spread, or you wouldn't have been there. So let's start working our way down. What can they do to help you?
Well, along with issue 4, you can also get issues 1 through 3. So if you wanted to catch up, like you were mentioning, you can. If you get a physical copy of the book, you're also going to get a free bookmark drawn by local artist Mang Cha. You're also going to get a free sticker drawn by another local artist that you know very well, Michael Dorman.
Oh, that guy. I love Michael Dorman. He's great. He's done work for me too. So he's beautiful.
He's done a lot of work for me also. You also have the option of getting a Xob t-shirt.
Wait a minute. Michael Dorman told me he was retired and would do no more art. You know what, Michael? Talk when you're in the shop. Sorry, go on. Go on. So I see how it is. Okay.
This was a personal favor Michael did for me. I begged him a lot.
You broke him down.
I broke him down.
Your persuasion of persistence. Okay. All right. We'll talk, Mike.
You get a Xob t-shirt. You can get God, now I threw it off now.
You did the 1 through 3.
1 through 3
exclusive covers.
There are 3 actually exclusive covers just for the Kickstarter you can get. The main cover is the Nicholas Garza cover. He was our Xob cover contest winner from last year. So he is from Fresno, so semi-local character.
I'd say that's local.
Yeah. But you can get his original cover. You also get the Melissa Pagolica cover. Oh my God. She's an amazing artist. I've wanted her to do something for Xob for years. I was like, this is my chance. Also, you can get a Fishley homage cover of Ultimates #1. If you remember Ultimates with that with famous Cap cover.
The shield up. Yep.
So you get that. That's an option. So you can get all 3 if you want, or you can
her holding the.
It's not. Well, can't show it.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. That's right. Go to the Kickstarter.
Yeah, go to the website. You can see it, but they're also available. If you want to maybe get more books from myself outside of Xob, you can get all the issues of Shaman's Destiny, all of Starcore, Ruby from Planet Oz as an option. And last week, I just added a second special tier to me, is a book that my wife wrote. It's a comic book that she wrote. Her very first comic book is called My Hero Among Superheroes. And it's a short story in a way. It's a perspective of a young boy watching his father go through day-to-day things. But from his perspective, everything is supernatural and superhuman because his dad does everything so wondrously.
That's a fun concept.
It was originally a Father's Day gift from my wife to me. And she wrote the script and I read it and I was like, this is fantastic. What are you going to do with it? She said, nothing. I just wanted to write it. I was like, well, why don't we convert it into something? Yeah. I love comic books. Let's make it into comic book. It's all about superheroes and things like that. Mm-hmm. And she did. So she got her cousin, who is a budding illustrator and animator, to draw the comic book. And that is an option that you can bundle it with issue 4 or add it on. So there's a lot of things that are available. And I hope you guys check it out.
Yeah, no, definitely go take a peek. The great thing about this one already is that if you fund it, it's already going to be into your hands. This man is good about getting things actually into your hands.
Yeah, you don't have to wait 10 years to get my book.
I know who you're referring to.
Yeah.
But we won't mention any names. But no, it's definitely gonna be in your hands soon. And so if we keep going and we keep building up the level, have you thought of any kind of stretch goals? So he's like, no, I just funded.
All right. So when we first started the campaign, we had some astronomical stretch goals. They don't think we're going to get there now, but they were silly stretch goals of me getting tattoos.
Oh my God. That's intense.
And they were very stupid because they were, the first stretch goal was going to get a friend of mine. His name is Danny Quick. He's also a comic book writer on the East Coast. He writes a book called Ace Blade. And I was going to get a tattoo of him as his character on my chest. So when I say
to your wife about this,
I did. Okay. She said we better not get to that tier.
Because you're gonna have to buy them off. You're gonna buy. Can we give you all the profits on this book?
And then I told her about the second tier, which was another tattoo on my back of.
Is it your lower back?
Oh no, it was the
okay.
the biggest part of my back of a character called Lumberjacks on a stripper pole, and she was like, "No, don't do that." so we're hoping to fund more, but we don't want to get to that point where we get those stretch goals.
Can you end the Kickstarter? Like if it gets to right before it, can you just stop it?
No,
no, you can't. It goes all the way. Well, I would not like to see this happen, but let's get them right up to those stretch goals so that it's really close.
Really close.
So you mentioned some of your other books
Yes.
that are going to be in there. As long as we're here and you guys can get them on the Kickstarter, or I assume they can get them on your website.
They can. Or
And
on
here,
here.
We got them on the shelf.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and give them just a quick rundown while we're here. Tell them about this one.
Ruby from Planet Oz is written and drawn by myself. It is a sci-fi take of the Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy Ruby Johnson is abducted by aliens as a young girl, grows up on the planet Oz, and now she has to fight her way through the Wicked Queen of the West and find her way back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one was also another successful Kickstarter.
That is, it's actually not in my book, but I did draw it. I forgot I threw that in there.
I mean, we might as well talk about it. You're part of this thing.
I am. It's called I Drive for Server. This is issue 1. We're working on issue 2 right now. What this is this guy here. His name is Jim. He's down on his luck and he needs extra cash. He takes this side job, which what he thinks is like Lyft or Uber, but it's called Server. So it's a ride sharing service. But he finds out that the ride sharing that they do is for the supernatural. So in issue 1, we meet ogres, we meet kelpies, we meet a Slender Man type character. And he has to take all these people on these rides to get to their destination. And he finds out it's very lucrative, but very dangerous at the same time.
What's a kelpie?
We have to read the book to find out. But I'm just gonna.
Where is it? What's it from? Like, do you know?
It is a mythological creature that involves a horse and an octopus.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And they're fused.
Excellent. That's what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And now I saved this one for last because this was like the beginning.
This was the
beginning of everything. God, how long did you start this one?
10 years.
Okay.
10 years.
Hey, Ronnie. It's Ronnie.
No, it's not.
He's
not
behind
Ronnie.
the scenes doing stuff, and he just wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Just wanted to show you his face. He gets tired of being lost in the shuffle. And there he is again. Hey there, Ronnie. How you doing? All right. So he can't get it off.
He can't. He just doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to. No. So this was the special what we were talking about.
Yes.
Shaman's Destiny. When was this again?
10 years ago this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. God, the time flies, right?
Yeah.
And you're still plugging away. This was the first time I saw him produce anything. Came out in floppies, ultimately got his trade together. Yeah. And give him a rundown on this one.
This is a 6-issue series. It involves the main character there. His name's Malik. He is a shaman. And in my world, shamans are supernatural protectors. They protect our world from demons, creatures, things like that. But what this book is about is Malik has to find out basically the history of his powers and his family because they're all sort of interconnected. Mm-hmm. He makes his way from Mexico through California to Nevada, where the series ends. And you find out about his history and all these other cool adventures that he goes through. And if you look on the front, because Ben was always such a huge inspiration, you'll see this guy right here looks very familiar.
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, I had, but now I look at it, and that is quite the face there. Let's see if I can. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, that's good. So, have you ever considered going back to the character? Because you have so many other ideas that you just have gone off in different directions.
Yeah, I have. The problem is I haven't come up with a good story that I want to continue with it. But eventually, and this is a few years down the line when I'm still doing this, I'm going to do a big crossover event with all my books. Starcore, Ruby from Planet Oz, Saw, and Shaman's Destiny will be included in it. And it's going to be the first major tourist comics event that just brings everybody together. That's
going to be fun. How much more do you think you have to produce?
Well, I have to get through issue 3 of Starcore and all of Ruby from Planet Oz. So that's 6 issues there.
And I didn't see a Starcore in here. I was going to show him that too, but
it is. That's right there.
Oh, it's covered.
It's covered.
There we go. Let's give him another one. This was a more recent one.
Yeah, that's the most recent book that's been produced. Starcore. It's about this guy. His name is Corey, and he finds the most powerful weapon in the universe. and now he has to deal with trying to figure out what to do with this suit of alien technology that he has while he's being chased down by the government's anti-alien task force. If you're into books like Dark Hawk, if you're into series like Ben 10, Guyver, that's the type of series you're going to look for here.
So as you can see, he has got a ton of stuff to offer you. So no matter what you're looking for, there's a little something there for you. But you want to support that Kickstarter. If you want to pick up a couple of these as well, do they have to do specific tiers, or are there add-ons at the end?
There are add-ons at the end.
So I don't know if you don't know how Kickstarter works. Once you pledge, you're going to go in and you're going to confirm, and there are add-ons that you can do. So what you could get, the Xob 1 through 4, and then if you go in, you can add the books that appeal to you. So that way you can experience everything he has to offer. So outside of this, is your focus from this point forward just going to be the Taurus universe, or do you have other things planned, other penciling gigs in the works for people?
I'm working on issue 2 for iDrive for Server now. When I finish that, I'm probably going to go and actually finish Ruby from Planet Oz, the entire 6-issue run. I'm going to just hanker down and kick all that out as quickly as I can.
Okay, so we're going to have 6 issues of that. We're going to have 6 issues of Xob. We've already finished Shaman's Destiny. What about Starcore? How many issues? You said 3?
Well, 3. Once we finish issue 3, that's when the major crossover comes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is great. So yeah, there's tons to do there. Please go take a peek, pledge something, pick up an issue, pick up 4 if that's all you want to do, because it's a good jump on point. And I'm telling you, you're going to be missing 1 through 3. So just get them all. And of course, follow this man not only on the Kickstarter, but on social media. And where can they find you?
TaurusComics.com is my website. I am on social media. I am on Twitter. X, whatever that name is, Facebook, Instagram. I
thought it was 10.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. But it's all Taurus Comics, Taurus. And if you want to check out my podcast, we do that every Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. It's the 4 Tales podcast. So it's the number 4 TALES podcast.
Yeah, no, and it was fun. I got to do one with them.
Yeah.
And you guys, they really do their research on the people who come on, because I was surprised at some of the stuff you guys brought up.
We try to be very thorough, and we want it to be entertaining for not just you and us, but the people that are watching too. So we want to get as much background about you as possible.
And I will say before we go, you guys, you opened me up a little bit and made me think. And you made me really make a decision on something that I hadn't quite given enough time to. And it really changed my life, quite honestly. You guys asked me at the end whether I liked Star Trek or Star Wars more. And I had to stop for a moment, but I realized immediately it was Star Trek. And yeah. So thank you.
Hey.
I appreciate this. It really, I mean, this has been freaking, that's okay to say. This has been 40 years in the making, where I didn't know. Wow. So thank you.
That is what we're here for. We're here to change your life, and we're here to change the lives of our viewers so they can get great comics also. But I mean, if we can change your life, that's the best part of it.
Yeah, it's a win-win-win. So thank you very much for coming, sir. I appreciate it. Go check out the Kickstarter, and when you're in the shop, go take a peek at the local comic wall. All of this stuff is right there. So we will see you guys next time, and enjoy the weekend. And it seriously did.